So we're going to put the transfer case on. Got a RTV here, and there is, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 studs and 3 bolts, so total 7. And you're supposed to use blue Loctite on it all. And you can see how this shaft goes out to the front right wheel, goes in the middle of this shaft all the way through. This spline goes inside this, and there's a spline on the diff. Then this spline goes onto this, the inside of this collar. That's how everything locks together. Then, and this collar and this, for the diff is what links up the front and rear wheels for the viscous coupling. And this is connected to the front diff, goes all the way through this to essentially this right here is a coupling. And this clicks in one side of this. This is just on a bearing. And then the axle clips in here. And that's what gives power. So this is essentially just going right to the front right wheel. So, alright, same as the transfer case, we have the Toyota orange RTV. I'm going to RTV this up. Okay, so now it's RTV. The manual wants you to put it in like 4th gear so you can spin the input shaft, and this spins in order to help align it. So we're going to now put it on, and I got my friend helping me. So now we have it up to like the dowels. So now we're going to put in the bolts and nuts and tighten it down. I say this too. And they want you to use blue RTV. Since these are impossible to get a socket on, I have this snap-on one with a wrench in. I originally bought this for my cam test I did in 2003 or 4 when I left the car on the dyno and I switched cams. And I needed a way to get on to the cam gear bolt, but it works great for this. And the torque spec's 51 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go and start working it now. That's good. So now it's all torqued. I get to put it back in my car. So now that transfer case is on, you got to put the rear engine mount on. Of course you can't leave it on because you have to get to these bolts. If you don't take this off and try to take the transfer case off, it's hidden. So you got to put this on. And now I'll torque them to 54 foot-pounds. And now you can put the speedo in. I'm going to torque it to 13 foot-pounds. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is install the release fork and throw-out bearing. And you need to, I don't know where I even got this from, but back in the day I got this super high temp grease from Honda. I don't know, maybe that's why I'm blowing transmissions. But you gotta put it all in this area. You need to lube up, you know, because it rides on this ball. So lube up the fork here. Toyota also wants you to lube up this spot where the clutch slave contacts it, and then you know, put the all you do is stick it through there, the rubber grommet, line this up to go on, and it's just, you press it on, it's like a little ball there, it's on. Then you're also supposed to grease up the splines for when you put the clutch on, so when you're installing it, it goes on easier. So that's it. My next step is I'm going to put or clean the engine bay, and then I'll start putting in put the motor or the trans on the motor and put it in the car.